This week is the Nova reveals, and as we always do on this channel, this is my hopes and predictions mixed with a little bit of rumors from the whispers of the warp, as we always do. So let's jump in and let's get talking about it all. Now, I just want to jump over to this window because this is one of the important things to talk about when it comes to this Nova show. The main 40k Horus Heresy in the Old World stuff, which of course I'm going to be covering and predicting and stuff, they're mainly going to be roadmaps. I do predict that we are going to get some teasers for models, and Games Workshop even says it in this paragraph. It says, we've got new roadmaps for Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, the Horus Heresy in the Old World. Each one will shed some light on what's coming up later this year, so that's a big thing, and beyond. And they may even have a few teasers for you along the way. So we are going to get some type of teasers for models. It's probably going to be like silhouetted models, something like that, like not fully shown off, but like a nice little teaser to get people talking, to get people probably hyped for that next big release. So I'm going to start with Warhammer 40,000, and of course, since it's a roadmap, we're going to try and talk about it from like a roadmap point of view. And when it comes to Warhammer 40,000 releases now, there's really a lot of ways they can go. So I just want to try and start with some rumors, and maybe that is going to give the indication of things that's going to be happening. So next year, I have heard through the whispers of the warp that the Guard are going to be coming out. We're going to see Emperor's Children, the Eldar, Phase 2 is supposed to be happening. But what normally happens as well during the end of a year, around November time, Games Workshop always puts out a cool limited edition box. We've had it in the past for Warhammer 40,000 where we've had Black Templars, we've had Imperial Guard, we've had Votan, Sisters of Battle as well are one of those boxes that they've put out, and it's like a limited edition box with limited edition codex in there to get people buying it, and then a couple of months after they release like the full version of that range. And I'm wondering if we're going to get that again this year around. And if we do get it this year around, I actually do think potentially it could be another Imperial Guard related box. For those people who don't know, we've been talking about this on the channel for a long time now, is that Krieg are supposed to be getting a brand new plastic range in terms of more or less the models that they had over on Forge World getting redesigned in plastic. Now, I'm not sure what models they are. I've heard a few things like heavy weapons teams, the cavalry, you know, just the basic engineers and stuff like that. Those are some things I have heard, but nothing to really base a house or no foundations at all. It's all in the rumorverse, as we always say at this moment in time. But I do think Krieg potentially could be one of the big teasers if we see this roadmap. When we look at other armies that could potentially be on this roadmap, I've been talking about this for a while. With the coming of Space Marine 2 being launched, and Space Marine 2 involves Thousand Sons, I would not be surprised if the Thousand Sons are on that roadmap to release this year. Maybe they could be like an October release, and maybe they could be like a November release for a new armor. Another one a lot of people have been talking about, and I kind of agree with this as well, is Knights. I have heard of one new Knight model, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like an Armiger class of Knight, if I'm not mistaken, again, through the whispers of the warp. I'll have to double check that out, but when you put out a Knight Codex, it's more or less just Knights. You don't really have to do like a massive refresh. Like one model more or less does it for them. So it could be Knights, it could be Thousand Sons. Votan, a lot of people want to see. We know Gav Thorpe had a book announced for the Votan, and maybe this could be pairing up with a Votan release. That's what Games Workshop normally like to do. They put out a novel along with an armor, and we've seen the Votan novel, but we haven't seen anything in terms of army. So maybe Votan could be coming out sometime this year as well. I think if Games Workshop really wanted to bring the hype to this product and get people cheering again and looking forward to the future, I think they could point it in a direction where it linked to the Emperor's Children. Maybe a symbol of the Emperor's Children on the roadmap or something like that. I think that would get a lot of people talking. I think that would get a lot of people just looking forward then to that release, because of course that would bring in the whole Emperor's Children. And for people who haven't been following, apparently when the Emperor's Children release, the demonic primarch Fulgrim he's got to come back not only to the tabletop, but to the narrative as well. Technically, he's already back in the narrative, but he's just doing Fulgrim things on his own planet. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, it's another big Primarch coming back to the setting, and I know a lot of people like Primarchs. I know a lot of people dislike Primarchs coming back to the setting as well, but Primarchs always sell well for Games Workshop, and every model they put out so far as a demonic Primarch has been fantastic. Magnus, Angron, Mortarion, they have all been, for me anyway, 10 out of 10 models. So to potentially see a 40k demonic Primarch of Fulgrim return with all his arms and all his swords and stuff, Snake Boy slithering around, I think it could be an absolutely brilliant model. So hopefully a little bit of a tease on that, and that would go down fantastically well. I actually am looking forward to this time around more to the Horus Heresy stuff rather than the 40k stuff. I think 40k has gone into a bit of a lull at the moment. There's been some, how can I say this the right way? There's been some average releases in terms of models, especially with the Blood Angel stuff that a lot of us have now seen, and a lot of us have given our feedback on. So when it goes to 30k and stuff and seeing the potential what is there and the rumors that are surrounding it, of course the big thing is that brand new Space Marine box set that is supposed to be Mark II. That's supposed to have a brand new Praetor in there that's Mark II, the Mark II plastic troops, the Saturnine Terminators, which, we've been talking about this for years and years and years. Are they ever going to do Saturnine Terminators? Well, it looks like now it's actually going to happen. The Saturnine Dreadnought, that is something completely brand new. I cannot wait to see if that's real and what that looks like. And also in that box set, there's supposed to be the brand new gun emplacement. And all this is circulating around the brand new version of the Horus Heresy game. I'm not sure what to call it. Is it 2.5? 3.0? I don't know. Horus Heresy players, help me out in chat. There's a lot of rumors about it being a streamlined rule set, which has got a lot of people talking in the Horus Heresy community. Apparently, when it comes to the codex itself, it's at the printers. That's what the rumors are saying right now. That's what I've heard through other big Horus Heresy channels and stuff. I'm more or less 40k, but the Horus Heresy fan base who are involved in all this stuff, they're saying it's already at the printers. So that means for me, it's literally 6 to 12 months away. It could be, and again, this is a big prediction and theory and me going down the rabbit hole, maybe that the box set that they release in November time is going to be the Horus Heresy Mark II box set. They put that out in a limited edition fashion, as they normally do. People go mad for it around that November time. And then early on in 2025, they released a brand new version of the Horus Heresy. The rules, all the new Mark II plastic separately, all that type of stuff. Maybe that is on the cards for Games Workshop. Another thing as well that potentially we could see and teased and put on this new roadmap is the Mechanicum Knight. I talked about this months and months and months ago, and apparently a Knight is going to be made into plastic that is now resin over on Forge World. Maybe this could be teased off, this could be shown off, or maybe that rumor is just absolute BS, as rumors normally tend to be. One thing I know a lot of people have been saying to me and been talking about is the last roadmap they put out. They mentioned like this infantry upgrade kit, which never came out, which never happened. So I'm wondering if that's going to be re-added to this new roadmap now. And, okay, there's a timescale to relaunch that and re-put that out because we never managed to put it out last time. That's one of the big things with roadmaps, is that when Games Workshop do big roadmaps like this, for 40k, Horus Heresy, the old world and stuff, is that they basically put a target on themselves, and if they miss that, then people are like, well, what's the problem, Games Workshop? Is there a problem? Like, what's going on in your factory? And, there's questions asked and people start worrying, is that going to delay other stuff then? And, is it going to be like an avalanche effect, a domino effect affecting other products? So it is a really, really big move from Games Workshop to come out and say, not only are we going to be putting out one roadmap, we're going to be putting out 4 roadmaps for 4 flagship products. So it is going to be a spicy one from GW. Now, before we go into the old world stuff, I want to talk about one big thing. Potentially the biggest thing that they could show for Horus Heresy or tease for Horus Heresy this year. And it is a brand new Primarch. I've heard some rumors that there is supposed to be a brand new Rogel Dawn Primarch model for the Horus Heresy that has a shield and a sword. Give me Saturnine Gambit, Rogel Dawn, Games Workshop. This is what I want. Listen, I'll go back to collecting Heresy. I'll be a complete Horus Heresy simp if you give me Shield and Board Rogol Dawn. But another Primarch I keep hearing about as well is a brand new Angron. Angron Demon Mode in 30k. What do they call it? Is it Transfigured? I think they call it now in the Horus Heresy. I've heard this from a source who I absolutely trust, and I think Nova could be a really cool time again to tease a model like this. If you see some like shots of like wings and stuff, and yeah, I don't know, some like red skin, maybe that is like, okay, we're good to go. Angron is coming. That is going to be, you know, a big brand new sculpt coming from the Forge World Studios. And I would love to see their take on it as well. I love Fulgrim's take that we get. Like, we're going to get we've got a 30k Fulgrim, and we're about to get a 40k Fulgrim as well. So it'd be nice to see the 40k Angron that we've got to the 30k Angron that they're, well, probably designed by now, painted and ready to show off when they want to show it off. So yeah, fingers crossed we get something big and we get something amazing like that. And the last thing I want to talk about, of course, is Warhammer the Old World, which is dear to my heart. You know, when I was growing up as a young lad, fantasy was one of the main things I always loved. I always liked to watch on the tabletop and, you know, paint some models. I was going to do a high elf army at one point, like in my younger days, but I just never got around to it. And when I did have like the cash to actually invest into it, they killed it for AOS, and I never really got to do it. But this time around, I'm going with my roots, and I'm back doing dwarves, of course. But looking forward to the future of Warhammer the Old World. Now, I'm going to go down to the Rumourverse again to start this off. Way back when I heard about, you know, like, you know, orcs and dwarves, which kind of made sense and stuff, you know, Bretonnian and Tomb Kings, the rumor that we put out years ago on this channel. We was also hearing that the High Elves were going to be linked with Chaos, and I thought, oh, that didn't really make sense. High Elves with Chaos? Surely they do the Empire with Chaos. I was, you know, maybe the Empire with Beastmen. I'm not too sure. But basically what I'm trying to get to with this one is that we've just had the Chaos Warriors come out, and I do think now on this roadmap it is going to talk about the High Elves. I think the High Elves are going to be the next Order faction coming out. Now, it's been a little bit disappointing if you're a Chaos player for the Warhammer the Old World, because they put no new models out, no new HQs or anything like that, and a lot of people are upset about that. Hopefully, they don't do that with the High Elves. The High Elves have some fantastic characters. I'm really hoping for like a new Dragon Rider or something, because that model was so iconic back in the day. If they can redesign that with the technology that they have, like I've seen some absolutely amazing sculpts for AOS. If they can add some of that fantasy element to the old world and make a new like Dragon High Elf Rider, then that would be absolutely fantastic. But I think, right, and this again, this is theory mode, this is me going down the rabbit hole, something that they could do to get a lot of people hyped about this is introduce a faction or tease a faction which hasn't ever been on the tabletop. And I think that faction could be Cafe. I've heard a lot about Cafe. I've heard some massive rumors about it, like there's supposed to be, you know, blimps, airships and stuff like that coming with this faction. I know a lot of people were talking about Kislev and stuff, but apparently because of the political situation in the world at the moment, Kislev has been shelved by Games Workshop. I'm not sure how true that could, you know, be a BS rumor. It could be made up, it could be real, we don't know, right? Rumors are rumors, but you know, that is something that GW would do. They try to stay away from you know, real life politics these days as much as possible. But all that aside, Cafe I think could be an absolute massive thing to see on the tabletop, and I think it would be a cool army as well. Like, we've never seen a Cafe army before, and to see the stuff that they have in you know, Total War and bring that to life on the tabletop, it could be absolutely bloody amazing. Anyway, Chaperoonios, that is enough waffling from me as always. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, I'd love to know your predictions, your thoughts on what we could probably see on this roadmap and maybe some of the little teasers. So yeah, post it down below and we can have a nice little chin wag down there as we always do. See you now. Have a great day and bye-bye.